What's up everybody, welcome back to another video within the Generative AI tool series, and in this video we'll be reviewing the large enough model by Mistral, which is also known to be Mistral Large 2, and it has been making quite a lot of leaps across the LLM leaderboard. Like we see a huge hike in quality. Obviously there are bigger models, GPT-4o at the top and leading by Llama 3.1, 405B and 70B, but still 91 is a huge score. Especially when you compare the Mistral models against each other. For example, the last Mistral Large was at 76 and now 91 is a huge hike. And again, cheaper as well when compared to Mistral Large. It was $6 and we have $4.5 per million token. And in terms of output tokens per speed, again, improvement, and latency is also improved. So across the Mistral models, and given it's open source, this is like a huge scorecard. Mistral 2 is significantly more capable in code generation, mathematics, and reasoning. It also provides much stronger multilingual support, which I believe all models are sort of focusing on right now. And it's great. I mean, the previous models 1 year back, they were struggling in a lot of languages, but it's good like they're focusing on this. All right, so Mistral Large 2 has a context window 128K, which is again a huge hike from 33K, so which was the predecessor model. Hugely satisfying, and yet there's a few questions. Like a lot of people would have this question, like it's specialized in code and reasoning, but you already have Codestral, which is like 22B, and then they recently released Codestral Mamba, which was more like a small scale model for Codestral, something that you can use locally as well. So that's the beauty of it. But still, if you see, we have Codestral Mamba, which is like 7B, and Codestral 22B. We see like there are a tiny bit of differences between both of them. But again, you're comparing 7B models with like larger models. But the thing to understand here is like, I've seen a lot of questions across LinkedIn, even on Reddit, like, hey, if we need something for code generation, what do we use? Do we use Mistral Large 2? Do we use Codestral 22B? Or do we use Codestral Mamba? So the answer is pretty simple. Most of these big names out there, in order to compete, they're releasing large-scale models like Llama 3.1 405B, a hugely scaled model, and they're also releasing medium scale models just like 70B for Llama 3.1's case. And it has been like a recurring pattern across most of these companies. OpenAI is doing the same. Then we have Meta doing the same, and Google's doing the same. So Mistral is following the lead here. The only benefit I see of using Codestral Mamba is like you can download it. It's like 4 to 5 GB, and you can use it with Ollama, and you can integrate it with your VS Code, and you can run it for free on your machine. So that's like one huge benefit. But if you feel like your requirements aren't fulfilled by a small scale model, or you just feel like the performance of it or the results of it aren't up to mark, you can always use the paid models like Codestral 22B and even Mistral Large 2. All right, let's focus on a bit of stats. So Mistral Large 2 is leading ahead from 3.1 70B in terms of code generation. And in math performance, again, Mistral Large 2 is much better than Llama 3.1 70B. So that's like one big of a hike. And then we have, I think, a fair comparison between across multiple programming languages when you compare Mistral Large 2. So this is awesome. Also, there's one bit of a detail that I would like to mention is like a significant effort was also devoted to enhancing the model's reasoning capabilities. Now, all models say that, but they go ahead by saying like one of the key focus areas during training was to minimize the model's tendency to hallucinate or to generate plausible sounding but factually incorrect or irrelevant information. Now this cannot be contained, especially with pre-training or even post-training. So this was achieved by fine-tuning the model to be more cautious and discerning in its responses. ensuring that it provides reliable and accurate output path. So I saw the cutoff date for this model and I tried to ask it about like what is the difference between Mistral Large 2, Codestral, and Codestral Mamba. Now it gave me factually incorrect information. It went on by saying like Mistral is a large scale model, which is true, but with 175 billion parameter, that's not true. And Codestral is large with 175 billion parameter, that is again not true. And Codestral Mamba is larger than Codestral with 340 billion parameters. It went ahead and printed this nice looking table with some information is correct, but the size and different specialization information is not correct. So I asked to sort of source this information, and the model then apologized that the last update of it was in October 2023. There is no specific information available about model Mistral Large 2. So yes, it provided the wrong information, but then upon sort of inquiring the sources like, hey dude, where's your source, it actually came out clean. Like, I don't know what these models actually mean. I have my cutoff date up to October 2023, so I see this sort of improvement, but it's not like completely there, but it's there. All right, so in terms of usage, as I mentioned here, you can use Codestral, Nemo, and Large 2. We actually reviewed Mistral's Nemo in one of the last videos. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and watch it. So you can use Large 2 within their lead chat. But if you want to use it within your code, then most of the bits of information is basically dictated within their models page. So you have Mistral Large, and it states our flagship model with the state-of-the-art reasoning, knowledge, and coding capabilities. So what you can do, you can just copy these. For example, for Nemo, it's open Mistral Nemo, and for Mistral Large, it's just Mistral Large the latest. So I'm going to use the code that I used for Nemo, and I'm just going to go ahead and replace it. And that's it. Most of the work has already been done. I'm importing some statements over here. I'm loading my .env file, which has my API keys, which I'm hooking here. And this helps me to instantiate the model. I'm laying off my message by using the chat message instance provided by Mistral. And then I'm streaming the response. So let's go ahead and run it, and let's see the response it sort of produces. So I'm going to go ahead and type in python main.py, and all right, it's taking more time than Nemo, but it's understandable. It's a large scale model. So Nemo is like, boom. It's also the fastest model currently, dated to July. All right, so here we have a nice bit of explanation about quantum computing. So that's everything about Mistral Large and everything you need to know and some of the questions around it. That's how you can use it within your Python code. If you have any questions, please list them in the comment section. And thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.